Hello and welcome. My name is Will Johnson and she's United America First. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. If you are watching right now, we are streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So please go to our YouTube channel and please subscribe. I'm sorry?
I just hear static.
It's coming through okay. So please go to our YouTube channel. And are you not able to bring it up? Here, let me help you. Try now. All right. So please, yes, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We stream live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And also we are on Twitter. Please like us and follow us on Twitter and of course on Facebook as well. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Stasyi, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Stasyi Barth. She's running for governor of California. Okay. So Stasyi is a native California Christian wife, mother, patriot, activist, committed candidate for governor to stop sanctuary state. That's wonderful. I'm already liking her. Reduce taxes, end erroneous regulations, and restore California to its rightful place as the Golden State. This is awesome. So let's go ahead and we're going to play her campaign video. This is one video that I saw for her online. We're going to play that video for you. And then after the video, we're going to come back and we're going to talk to her. Oh, hold on. Okay. Is this it here? I can't click it. Click that second layer. No, the third one. The third one. The third one. The third one, yeah. Is that it there? I don't think that's it.
I am a product.
Yeah, that's it.
Of a California homeless community. I am a product of a California homeless community. I understand the position of pro-life and pro-choice since I've experienced both sides. I am a child of the LGBT community. I have a pre-existing condition and personally understand the problems with our medical system and where some want to take it. I am a wife and a mother of 3 wonderful children. I am a small business owner and understand the struggles of owning a small business. I joined the Air Force straight out of high school to serve my country and strongly support our military. John Quincy Adams once said, If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I am that leader for the Golden State of California. I believe no matter what side of the political fence you may be on, we must work together to eliminate homelessness, provide treatment for the mentally ill, and support for our veterans who suffer from PTSD. Together, we can improve our education system and create more jobs. Together, we can create stability, balance, and unity for every level of income. Together, we can ensure a brighter future for California. My name is Stasyi Barth, and I am running for Governor of California in 2018.
Hello, Stasyi. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, thank you for having me.
All right. So, you know, I watched your video. My producer sent your video to me, and after watching your videos, I have a lot of questions for you.
Okay. I'm ready. Go ahead, fire away.
So, one of the questions that I don't have on here is one of the questions I want to ask you is, what I guess what sparked your interest in running for governor? That's what I know. It's not a question that I have for you, but I'm just curious.
So it kind of ties into a question that you had already sent me. So have I ever run for political office or anything like that? I have not. This is my first adventure into being into elective office. I have worked for 12 years now on the outside as an activist, trying to reach our elected officials in DC and Sacramento and getting nowhere. So I've seen the complete decay of California and the United States before Trump, and have been fighting both in DC and Sacramento to try to fix it so that we have a future. And every vision that our children have, that we had when we were kids, that our parents had when they were kids, and everything that we want to give to future generations is disappearing before our eyes. And when you go to Sacramento and you speak with our legislators, you realize that it's all a part of their plan. They want to remove California from the entire union, and they want people to hate us. So I want to work to fix that. And working on the outside in is no longer doing anything. So now I need to get in there. I need to get my hands dirty. I need to be able to see what they're hiding, and I need to be able to expose it so the citizens of California know exactly where we stand at all times, and so we can fix it.
Right. Is this your first time running?
It is.
This your first
Yes,
time running?
First time running for a political office.
First time running for political office. That's quite a quite a big shoes to fill.
Somebody wants to know what her activism experience is in.
So one person on Facebook would like to know, what is your activism experience?
What's it in?
What is it in?
Okay, so my activism has been with healthcare, with trying to fight Obamacare. So I was in DC for a week prior to the Obamacare vote, and spoke with every representative possible, and even the Democrats, all of them, to try to get them to vote no. I was in the viewing room, the viewing area when. Oh, are you still there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I can't see you. The viewing area when the vote was passed down, and I was one of 4 people out of tens of thousands that were bussed in from California and other liberal states that were there to vote no. Everybody else there was voting yes. So we had to be escorted out by the police for our own protection. And because they had told us that we were baby killers and we were trying to destroy the nation. So after that, I came back to California and realized that I really need to work on my own state and get our state back in order, because as California goes, so goes the rest of the nation. Now, not everybody wants to, hold on, there you go. Not everybody wants to believe that California leads the rest of the nation, but it does. So just imagine if we can get a constitutional governor in California, and how that's going to ripple through the rest of the United States.
Huh.
The rest of the states are going to be shook to their core that California went red.
So it looks like we lost your video feed there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh, am I here now?
I can hear you, but is there maybe you hit the camera button on your device? Oh, there you are.
There we go.
There she is.
Yep, there it went. It switched off for some reason, so I thought I had it back. But anyway, so I'm working right now, and I have been working on the border.
You can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So when I came back to California, my big issue then became what illegal aliens are doing in California. The rights that they're given that we aren't, the privileges that they're given that we aren't, and trying to stop them from coming in. And around that time, there was a protest in Murrieta called Stop the Buses. I did not organize that event, but I did participate heavily in it. For about 4 weeks. Even after it was over, I stayed there to make sure that no buses came through. But I did want to know where they went. So I went to the border and started speaking with Border Patrol agents, trying to understand what the process was. How was Obama bringing in all of these people and not abiding by all of our laws were being thrown out, and no one cared. Our elected officials didn't care. And the officers that were sworn to uphold the laws of our land were ignoring them. They were not upholding their oath either. So I wanted to know why. Why was this happening? Why didn't anyone care? And how could we fix it? So because I believe in our Constitution and I believe in our Declaration of Independence, it clearly states that it's not just our right, but it's our duty to stand up and take charge of our country, especially when our elected officials refuse to do so.
Right.
And when our Constitution is being circumvented by our elected officials, it's up to us to change guard. And that's what I'm doing.
Okay, awesome. So let me ask you, in the past few years, Governor Brown, he has made a whole bunch of, changes, policy changes, him and the other Democrats in the state, one being the sanctuary state and the gas tax. What do you consider some of the top issues in the state of California that needs to be fixed?
Well, immediately is immigration. So sanctuary state, sanctuary city are gone. Within the first 90 days of me going into office, I'm going to have Homeland Security, ICE, and Customs and Border Protection to figure out a plan to remove every single criminal illegal alien in California. So I don't care what they've done. As soon as they're on the radar and we know who they are, I'm going to be ICE's best friend in California. They're going to. I was
going to say, so if you're gonna do that, and a lot of Democrats probably not gonna like you saying that, or like hearing you saying that, because they feel that Democrats don't tie the part where you have illegals immigrant with immigrants. Now, I mean, me personally, I completely agree with immigrants coming to this country, coming the right way. But I've noticed, like the liberals and the Democrats, when we talk about illegal immigrants, they try to twist it and say that we're talking about immigrants because they never say the word illegals.
Well, that's actually been, that's my plan. So what California has done, and I'm going to kind of tie this in for a second. So the best analogy that I can come up with is with Proposition 8. So again, a hot button topic. So do you believe in same-sex marriage? Do you not? It doesn't matter for this analogy. What it did was when Proposition 8 passed, it removed the definition of marriage. So now there's literally a word without a definition. It doesn't matter if you approve or disapprove, you can't argue the fact that now the word has no definition. What Sacramento is trying to do, what they have verbally told me to my face, what they're doing is to remove the definition of citizenship and remove the definition of being an American. So they're devaluing Americans every single day. They told me that they want illegal aliens to not only be able to vote, but also run for office in California. That's not going to happen.
Wait a minute. So in the past few days, or actually since I went down to the border, and it was an honor to meet you at the border.
in the spice community.
When we went down there, I've been saying that, or no, actually, even before that, when they gave the verdict for Kay Stanley's murder to allow him to just get off scot free, basically, I've been saying that the people in the state of California are considered second class citizens, and basically, you're telling me that you went to the Sacramento, the state capital of California, and they told you that very thing.
It's been by design for about 6 years since I've been going.
Really? So so if let me ask you, so if I were to go to the state capitol, is there someone that I could talk to get them to say that on record?
Go ask Ricardo Lara, go ask De Leon, go ask Wiener, go ask any of the Democrats that sit on the appropriations. I'm telling you, it is by plan. I have gone and testified against Sanctuary State. I have gone and testified against Sanctuary City. I've been there to testify against the reckless laws that now make it a criminal offense for an employer to ask whether or not their employee is a legal citizen of the United States. And it doesn't matter if you're a physician, it doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, it doesn't matter what your profession is. Even as a patient, you cannot ask your doctor where they went to school or who what their background is. So it's extremely mind-boggling and mind-blowing when you go there and you watch them laugh at you for asking the questions as to why don't you put Americans first, and they say that because they don't want to. They believe in that fictitious what is it, the Reconquista, the Aztlan, the made up curriculum that was made up in LA, that professor made up, and now it's become mainstream. So now children in elementary school are being taught about Aztlan, about how this land truly belongs to the people before Mexico even existed, and that this is their land. So they're not here to make nice. This is warfare for them, and they're not playing games.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, I've been saying how that we are at war right now in America, and just because people don't see bullets and bombs flying everywhere doesn't mean it's not going on. And a lot of people don't even recognize that it's happening. Let me move on to the next questions that I have for you. You say that you're a product of the homeless community. Can you tell us about that?
My mom and my aunt are both gay. So I grew up as a child that's the only community that I knew of. So I was only exposed to that community before it was the mainstream that it is now. So when it was underground, when everybody was still kind of hiding who they were, I was there. I was the child there. I was the child at their softball games. I was the child in the bars. I was the child in this, the parades just getting started. That's all I knew.
Did this like a result in part of something that took place when you like from the homeless community?
No. So it's because I had a very challenging childhood. It was filled with a lot of abuse and neglect, and I was forced to move out and live on my own at a very, very young age. So starting at about 10 years old to 13 years old, I was pretty much on my own. And then it went to living with friends and not family, but living with friends, and then back at home whenever the police would bring me back. But it was a very chaotic situation. I was able to finish high school on time and then go on to join the Air Force. So even though I was abandoned by my original family, I was able to lift myself up and graduate high school on time, serve in the military. But I attribute a lot of that to the fact that Ronald Reagan was president, and I had a father figure because I didn't know my dad growing up. So I needed a father figure, which is, I think, extremely important for every child to have, is a mother and a father. If you're gay and you have children, that's one thing, but you still need a maternal and a paternal parent. You still need people there to help raise you, to give you both sides.
So
So
I think you mentioned earlier, you said it was your mom that was gay,
yes,
and you said you didn't know your dad. So,
correct.
so you grew up with the, I guess, in the LGBT when you say the parades and stuff like that, and I'm assuming that your mother participated in some of those
My
activities.
mom's one of the founders of it in San Diego.
Really?
So yeah, so it's when you think of the LGBT community now, back then there wasn't much for anyone. There wasn't an outreach group. There wasn't anywhere for anyone to go. It was still very much shunned. Even as a child, when people would find out that my mom was gay, they would be forced to not be friends with me because their parents thought it was contagious. So
So let me
there's a
ask you.
big
So
difference.
with you being with your mother being gay and you growing up with the lifestyle being presented to you as a child, and you running on a conservative Republican ticket, what are your views as far as the LGBT community?
My views are that they're people. As long I do have one concern that has recently come to my attention. Um, I I am I believe that I am not God. I believe that I am not Jesus. It is not my place to judge other people. My place is to make life better for everyone, and that's my purpose in life is to be a better person myself and to help other people achieve their life's goals and their ambitions, to help lift them up, not carry them through.
Yeah.
So,
So
So
what are your views on the same-sex marriage in the state of California?
well, again, same-sex marriage I have a problem with it because it removed a definition of a word. It's so now marriage has no meaning. It has no definition anymore. I was against same-sex marriage because I understood the political, the leanings of why it was being brought up. And there are videos out there that do show that will explain what I'm saying right now. But because I was part of the community, I knew the people behind it. And the whole reason was to get back at the heterosexual community to not to make it. And people who are growing up gay now don't understand this. They think that this is a full on attack on them. It's not, it's just being honest. It has nothing to do with trying to take rights away from anyone, but understand the origins of the LGBT lobby. And yes, there is an LGBT lobby and they're very powerful. So the LGBT movement began with this woman coming out and giving speeches saying how much she hated heterosexual people. And she wanted to destroy traditional marriage because she felt that it was wrong. But the only way to do that was to give same sex marriage equal rights. But now you have people marrying buildings and you have people that want to marry animals. And then you're going to get into polygamy. It's a huge boulder coming down the hill at us, and there's no way to stop it because there is no definition.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think about the LGBT male, a gay male, being a Boy Scout leader?
Well, okay, so this goes into the new information that I just found out. So Nancy Pelosi, a few years ago, I believe, I'm not sure the time frame on this, but she had marched with NAMBLA. So, the men, boys.
Yeah, I know. I'm very
Okay.
familiar. Man Boy Love Association.
Yes.
I mean,
So
yes. Go ahead.
Nancy Pelosi is legitimizing them. And now the LGBTQ community is considering adding a P to the end of LGBTQ for pedophilia because they feel that pedophiles cannot control their actions, that this isn't a choice. So therefore they are a protected class. And that I'm against.
So Nancy Pelosi is basically she just endorsed Mambla.
Not
So,
just, I think it
huh?
was a couple years ago. But
So she
yes.
was marching with Mambla. See,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
So she against
Yes.
pedophilia?
I actually have it on my Facebook
Or
page.
all of it?
So, who?
Is she against just pedophilia or all of it?
So Nancy Pelosi is basically supporting pedophilia because she marched with Mambla.
It's for Nancy Pelosi, this is votes. This isn't a game. This is a power trip. She has a daughter that she wants to promote in politics. She has a family to defend in California.
Huh.
This is power. This is not a game to any of them. None of this is for the goodwill of the people. This is to literally destroy society because they don't believe in humanity as it is. They don't believe in integrity and morals. They believe in bringing down society because it gives them more power.
Okay, so let me ask you. Now they're going to add the P to it. So
They're
are you
talking
as a candidate, are you for some of the LGBT? Are you against all of the LGBT?
No, I'm not against them. The pedophilia, I will fight till the end of time. But if they add that, it's going to completely discredit their whole thing, and they're not going to have any standing at all with anyone anymore. If they do decide to add a P to the end of that, anybody that's transgender that wanted to have equal rights is going to go down in flames because they added a P to the end of the LGBTQ.
Right. So the reason why I'm asking, because most conservatives, Republicans, are against the LGBT community as far as having special rights that other people don't have, or are giving them rights that normal people or humans don't have. That's the only reason why I'm asking, because for the most part, my understanding that the Republican Party does not support the whole the narrative of the LGBT. Do you agree or disagree with that?
The Republican Party in California is different than the Republican Party on a national level. So I do not align myself with the Republican Party of California because they've been corrupted and sold out a long time ago. When they went bankrupt, they sold their souls. So they are no longer a representation of what a Republican is or should be. So as far as the LGBT community goes, in my view, again, it's not my place to judge. And as a conservative, as a Republican, it's not anyone's place to judge. It's our place to make the world a better place. So again, I know that when I get up to heaven, I'm going to have to answer for my own sins, and I'm going to have to answer for myself. I'm not going to be there answering for every single person that's committed sin, because they're all equal in God's eyes. So It doesn't matter what your sin is.
Okay.
So I'm not here to pass judgment on anyone, but I am here to say that you don't get special rights.
Okay.
So you are not going to be treated special because of who you have sex with.
Okay, so because that kind of leads up to my other question about the restroom, because I've gone to a couple restrooms. When we were just down in LA, we went to a restaurant and they have a restroom with 3 genders on it. One was a female, one was a male, and then one was a mix of both. I guess it was a figure of a male with a dress, half dress.
Skirt, yeah.
So my question to you is, what are your views on men, let's say at the age of 34 or 40, they decide they want to put on makeup and lipstick, and if they want to do that, let them do the thing, is what I say. Do the thing. But I tend to have an issue personally when they want to go into the restroom with other young little ladies. What are your views on that?
Oh, that's a no. You don't get to go into the restroom with little kids. The restrooms that I believe you're referring to are single user restrooms. So it's, if anybody feels that they want to use a restroom, there's no other doors in there. If it's a multi-purpose restroom or multi-use restroom, no, it's a tricky subject when it comes to those who've completely completed the transgender process. If they've gone through the surgery and they truly believe that they are a man or they are a woman, I'm not sure how to handle that at this point. I do know that right now they're saying that gender fluid is a thing and gender neutral is a thing. So every day you could be something different, or every minute you could be something different. I don't agree with that. You either are or you aren't. And yes, there are 2 genders. There's a male and there's a female. It's the only way to create a child. Science can step in, but you still need a male and a female hormones and genes in there
Right.
to kind of,
Right.
create that child. So there's
Okay.
only two genders.
Yeah.
But people, when they want to use the bathroom together with children, no, no. Single use restroom is one thing. Multi use is a no.
I tend to agree with you. If there's a single, if it's just one door and you go in and you lock the door behind you, personally, why not just put the word restroom on it
Right.
or put a toilet on it? I mean, why
Right.
does it have to be, 36 different genders that they have to put on the restroom door so people can figure out if that's the one that they want to use when there's only one? I
Yeah.
mean, but okay, let's move on. Let's
Okay.
let's move on.
Okay.
Because we could talk about that all night. Here's
Okay.
another question that I necessarily don't have on my list here. I don't think, but
Pro-life
do it. Okay, yeah. I do. Thank you. My producer corrected me. Pro-life or pro-choice? Which one are you?
1000% pro life.
Pro-life.
Yep.
Because I know so a lot of Democrats that hear you say that are not going to be happy because they are not pro-life.
No, they're not. And you've mentioned this a couple of times now in this interview that Democrats are not going to be happy with what I'm saying. And I think a lot of this goes along with education. So when people hear pro life, they immediately think you're taking the rights away of someone. Whenever you say, oh, gay marriage or LGBT rights, you're taking rights away from somebody who has them. None of that is true. You're not taking their rights away from anyone. You're actually liberating them and truly making them equal. So if you are equal and you want to be treated equally, then there is no special class. Everyone is treated the same. The only people who should have things that are different towards them are those with a disability, learning disorders, things like that, where you truly do need a helping hand.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not for the rest of your life. It's just to help you kind of manage your life and move on. But the rest of the world doesn't change for you.
Yeah, when I go to a lot of these rallies and protests, and they're talking about different things, and one things that bring up about abortion because, for example, I was in San Francisco and they were screaming, "Humanity first." And my question to them is, if humanity's first, then what happens? Why are you, so supportive of killing thousands of babies every day? And if you're talking about humanity first, and one of the questions or one of the statements that they'll say is that it's not human. And for the life of me, when I hear them say that, I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting there thinking, we're talking about human tissue inside of a human being, and they'll say it's not human. So I don't understand where the rational, where they get their thinking from behind all of that. But
well, in order for them, the next time they say that to you, ask them why they have to drill a hole in the baby's head through their skull and to get to their brain in order to kill the child before they remove it.
yeah,
So if it's not real,
I know
and
it's horrible.
not live,
I've seen the videos. It's
why do they
horrible.
have to yeah. So why do they have to do that if it's not alive, if it's not real?
It's horrible. And what they said, it's not human tissue.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, it's not even human, even though it's human tissue growing in a human being. I mean, we can go on and on about that, but
I know.
we can go
Go ahead.
on and on. But I know we're short on time, so let me go to the next question. You say you have an understanding of the problems of the medical system. Okay, what problems do you see, and how do you propose to fix them?
Well, right now in California, we have sitting in the pike, we have a lot of bills that are waiting to be passed that they're hoping for a Democrat to win in 2018 so these bills can be passed. And once they're passed, California, if you think it's bad now, you're not going to like what's coming. And one of them is single payer in California. So the Nurses Association is hugely powerful, and they are militant about single payer. And they want to pass single payer, and they will back anyone who will support single payer. And as far as I know, I'm the only candidate who will throw away single payer on day one. It will never get signed. There's no way I will let single payer happen. because your health care, your choice, your rights are what's important. That's what this country was founded on, and I'm not going to be the person to take them away. I'm the one that's going to give them back.
Well, awesome. Okay. Because we're short on time, I'm going to just keep moving here, okay? So,
Okay.
in your video, you say you're a small business owner. What is your small business, and what struggles have you experienced, and how do you tend to make California more profitable for small businesses?
Well, I own an acupuncture practice, a thriving one with my husband. I'm very blessed to have that. My husband he's very good at what he does. So he has a following of people that just love him. So we're very blessed for that. But over the years, especially since Obamacare, because it's a healthcare practice and California allows insurance to pay for acupuncture, our I would say our numbers of patients have grown, but our reimbursement rates have dropped. And that's exactly what single payer would do too, is pretty much eliminate anybody being reimbursed the rate that they are due. So as a small business owner, we have to deal with the increase in taxes, the increase in the demand for employment, for reporting purposes, taxing. My gosh, we have a business use tax that is absolutely ludicrous, that we have to pay every year 10% on what we use in our office. So even though you've already used it, you paid taxes on it. So if you buy paper towels at Costco and you bring them into your office and you have to use them in your office, you then at the end of the year have to pay 10% on whatever you just used. So you pay tax again. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of instances of double taxation. And I mean, the list goes on and on, but it does all prevent businesses from being profitable. It prevents them from growing. And there's a lot of regulations that prevent that as well. So, and California is making a lot of money off of the backs of small businesses. That's why they move. That's why they leave. And as governor, I'm going to remove them. I'm going to take California from being the #1 poverty state and throwing that in the trash. Somebody else can take that, because we're going to #1 in equity. We're going to #1 in people wanting to come back. California is going to be the golden state again, because taxation isn't going to be an issue. Representation isn't going to be an issue. I'm going to work directly with the people, with each corporation, small business, individuals, and figure out what is wrong with California and how can we fix it, and then fix it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the really tough question now.
Okay. All right.
As if all the
Yeah.
other ones were really easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and my question, I'm a put it to you as like a scenario here. Okay,
Okay.
so to my understanding, in the state of California, there's the top two, right?
Yep.
So when they're running in the state of California, you have the top two, and the top two could be the top two Democrats, or it could be the top two Republicans, or it can be a Democrat and a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, so if you have, let's say, I know Travis Allen is running, and there's another gentleman that's running. I can't remember his name right now. John Cox, I believe. Yeah.
There's others.
And I've come to find out there's more people running in for the governorship. So let me just ask you. So let's say you're at the top, and it's you, and there's a Democrat, and maybe Travis Allen or John Cox or something, and you're like one of the top ones, right? What would you suggest that they, in their campaign, and throw everything behind you to support you because you're like the top one,
So we don't lose.
so that we don't lose to another Democrat in the state of California?
Well, I've actually given a proposal to the California GOP, and they turned me down flat. So maybe you can get more traction with this than anyone else can. But the California GOP is fully endorsing Travis Allen. They make no bones about it. They'll tell you that they're not, but they are. So right now, what they've done is, in the last convention, the California GOP officially adopted Prop 14. Instead of getting rid of it, instead of choosing to fight top two, they like Tom Palzer is actually leading the way to fight top two. And I'm trying to help him with that as much as I can, but he's really doing a lot of work with this. So during our convention, our wonderful California GOP decided to adopt Prop 14 as part of our platform. So now it's not just a Democrat thing, it's a Republican thing. We want top two. That's what they just did. And on top of it, they decided to now endorse candidates before the primary. Now, what that means is out of 42 million people, give or take, in California, we have 1,500 delegates that are Republican delegates in California. Only 300 of those 1,500 delegates are required to endorse a candidate. So now you're going to be getting mailers, you're going to be getting videos, you're going to be getting emails, everything saying the California Republican Party formally endorses such and such for governor. You're going to think that they actually did a whole vetting process, that this person really does stand for Republican values, when in actuality it took 300 people out of 42 million to decide who that person would be. So that is a big corruption game right there.
I would tend to agree with you.
So my idea of the Republican Party was to have us have a debate in 3 in the north, 3 in the central, and 3 in the south. Have all of the central committees get together, draw out of a hat, get everyone involved. So the people who are neglected all throughout California, who never get paid attention to, they can actually be part of the process. Live stream it, have every debate live streamed, and then at the end have people vote who they want to be their candidate. So there isn't multiple people on the ticket. There's only one. But the people actually chose.
Yeah.
So do you think that's something that's realistically could happen before this 2018 election, where everybody could come together and live stream it and watch it? Is that something? Do you think the other candidates will actually participate in that? So it was like, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I see a lot of people running for political office, and Alabama is a prime example. And I'm gonna use Alabama, what just happened with Roy Moore, and then they even the Republicans were saying do write-ins. I mean, they were saying do write-ins, and because they were so split, they literally handed the nomination over to Jones, the Democrat in Alabama. Yep, I lost you there.
I know, I'm coming back. Sorry, somebody keeps calling me. Sorry, bud.
So I mean, so how do we get to that point to where we can all decide that you know what, we all have to come together. I mean, whoever it is that becomes at the top of the ticket, I think instead of me fighting against everybody, or if we're all fighting against each other, do we put our support against the candidate that is going to be the Republican to win, or we're going to make obstacles and then make it easier for the Democrats?
Okay, here's my thinking on that. So when I was the first to turn in my paperwork and become a certified candidate. So back in November of last year.
Okay.
Wasn't anyone else running at that time. Since then, it's their right. Absolutely. If they want to come in, absolutely. If I felt somebody else was better since then, I would have dropped out. But I don't. So now I'm in the position where every couple of years we have an election, whether it's gubernatorial, whether it's presidential, mayors, whatever. And we're always stuck between, we always have the lesser of two evils to pick from. Why don't we ever have better candidates? Why can't we have the one candidate that we want that's really going to represent all of us and is really going to make change happen? So as a candidate and as a person who knows, I know where my heart is and I know where my mind is and I understand what's going on, I know that I still have to fight. I still have to fight for the state and I have to fight for the people in it. If I was in this for just me, sure, I could say, you know what, I've spent enough money on this thing. I'm self-funded after all. Why am I still doing it? Well, I'm still doing it because I'm still fighting for you and I'm still fighting for me, because I know that all of us can do the job, but I will do it. So there's a difference. So when it comes down to picking candidates and asking people to back out, well then if I am the second one and not the first, and I'm the one asked to back out, then I'm going to have to live with that guilt, knowing that I didn't fight hard enough, because I could have saved California. I could have helped the people get their rights and their liberties back. And I could have helped President Trump unite California with the rest of the country again,
So
and
are
help all of us unite.
so you're saying, are you suggesting that, like, if you're second place, that you still won't drop out because you feel that you need to continue fighting?
I will fight as long as I can, as long as it.
I mean, it's a realistic question, because the reason why I say that, because I do not want us to repeat Alabama. And I mean, I'm wishing you all the best of luck. I mean, I don't know that what the outcome is going to be. The 2018 is just right around the corner. We're less than a month before January. And for the election, it's going to be the election year, and everything's going to really start picking up. It's going to start speeding up. It's going to be crazy. The ads, the advertisement, everything. At what point should I'm not just picking on you. I'm talking about any candidate. At what point should they say, okay, you know what? I can see that I don't have a path here, but I still have a lot of support. At what point in next year, in the election year, do, as candidates, we support the one that we truly believe can win, or do we just continue doing it and allow what happened in Alabama? Because we have an opportunity here to change California, to put a Republican,
Right person, yes.
a Republican in office in the state of California. They took Alabama. We need to take California.
Yes.
And I know that, I mean, I know that's something really big to chew on. I mean, because I'm constantly say that California, I call California Liberalville, California. And, but there's a lot of people here that are consider themselves Democrats that no longer want to participate with the Democrats are doing, because they're putting their children's lives in danger. And
Yes.
Democrats that love their children, they don't want that.
No.
And a lot of people that are Democrats, they consider themselves Democrats because they like to think that they're for the small man, or they're for the different groups. Just because you're for the small man and you're for the different groups don't mean you have to be a Democrat. And a lot of people are starting to realize that, and a lot of people are starting to make that change to support the conservative party. Because right now, California state is in pain. We got the gas tax. We got the sanctuary states. We got sanctuary cities. And now in the medical field, that if a person comes in there and they have convictions for themselves, and they don't want to call a man a woman because he decided that he wanted to be called a woman, and they don't feel lying to themselves is going to, be in it. They rather suffer the consequences than lying to themselves. They're subject to be put in jail in the state of California. And all this is happening because of the liberal left Democratic Party. And I don't want that for my children that I have, or anybody else's children that they may have, or, I don't want that for anybody. There's thousands of people that work in the medical facility, medical field, that, are scared about what they're saying. And what a lot of people in California don't realize is, starting in the medical industry, but it's going to trickle out to different restaurants, different businesses, the DMV, when you go to the movie theaters, when you go to your job, it's gonna roll out. And they said, well, you're making them acknowledge who I am. When I go to the doctor, you need to make this company, this business, acknowledge what I want to be. And the people are going to starting to be put in jail. I mean, the reality of it is absolutely crazy. It sounds like I'm talking about something in the Twilight Zone here.
Well, no, because if you think about it, Canada's actually doing that right now. So
Canada, I know.
In Canada,
yes,
there are people going to jail because they're using the wrong pronoun.
Yes, I know. Yes, I absolutely know. And if you're in Canada and you're a preacher and you decide to read verbatim out the Bible, and then someone go out and have an accident, and you can say, well, I just came from church. They can literally go arrest the pastor because he was reading verbatim out the Bible about homosexuality, and you just happened to hit someone in the vehicle that was gay. I mean, and they can tie it together, and they've already put someone in jail in Canada for that.
Yeah,
California is following suit. I mean,
yes.
so it's just,
and that's why we do have to save it. And to answer your question, I don't know the answer to your question as far as when is the cutoff. I don't know when that is, because life changes every day, and situations change every single day. So one day somebody could be fantastic, and the next day they're not, or vice versa. You don't know. There could be somebody else that jumps into the race that's all of a sudden, everybody's in love with, and then they find out that maybe they have some sexual issues in their past that they have to deal with.
Okay, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good question.
Know.
That's a good question. So I'm glad you brought that up, and that's not even one of the questions I have, but we have to talk about it. You're a lady.
You only asked to be 3 of the ones you said you were, so it's okay.
Okay, you're a lady, and the other candidates, from what I've seen so far, they're males.
Yeah.
And I'm just assuming, I don't know, but I mean, you kind of alluded to it a little bit, that they may have some, skeletons in their closet about maybe they sexually harassed a lady back in the day, or they've done some kind of sexual harassment, because they are men, and men are subject to be dogs, so they may have done something in the past, and some ladies probably just waiting for the right time to come out and talk about them. What are your thoughts and views about all of these different women coming out about different people running for political office, or people that's in office, saying that they've been sexually harassed by that particular male? I just want to know your views on it.
Well, as someone who has experienced this in my life, as a child, as an adult, especially, even in the military, especially, and it was taboo to talk about it back then, but I still did. And I still spoke out about it, and I was still chastised for it, and I was punished for it. I lost a lot of opportunities in life because I spoke out. So somebody who didn't speak out 30 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, I'm wondering why they're subjecting the women after them to that same harassment. So if it did happen, talk about it. Tell someone, scream about it, because it's coming out 40 years later. I can't even believe that I can remember what life was like 40 years ago, but I am that old. So I can remember what life was like 40 years ago. So life was different. Things were different. But if something is bothering you and you were harassed in life, you need to expose it then and now. And if you have proof of it, show it. If it's valid, then yeah. But if it was serious, then I something has to be done about it. If it's something that, they touched my butt as we were standing there for a photo op and it was 30 years ago, well, that's what men did. You can say that was a frat boys club and good old boys club, but that's just what it was.
I mean, actually, they still do it today.
It
happens when they go to the club. Women know that they're subject to be fondled or something in the club.
It doesn't make it right, but it also doesn't make it to where you go out and you get a primetime show talking about how somebody grazed your butt.
Right. I mean, I'm not condoning it, and to be honest with you, I never did that when I was younger and I went to the club. I never did it because I felt like I didn't want to. It was kind of uncomfortable to me, to grab somebody. I mean, I felt uncomfortable. But there are some aggressive men. Now, I'd be lying if I say I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Let me be clear. Yeah. I did want to, but I just never did because I didn't want to, I felt like I would be offending somebody or infringing on them, so. And
it would be.
Yeah, and I felt that, but I did want to, though.
Yeah, well, that's the difference, that's the difference between right and wrong. You may want to, but if you don't act on it, you're not.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
There is a difference,
have the filter, and some people don't.
There's a
You know,
difference.
so some people who've grown up with means and things like that their whole life and they've never heard the word no, when a woman says no to them, they're not going to take that very well. They're
Yeah,
not going to
yeah,
understand what that means. And they're going to say,
that's
how
true.
dare you say no to me?
Yeah.
There's a
Now
difference.
now
Every
you know,
situation is different.
but to speak of men, now I have been in the club where women have grabbed
Yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so it's not just a man thing how the media is just strictly pushing it. I've had women be pretty aggressive towards me. Not that I'm saying I'm, no Don Johnson or anything, same last name, but but I've never, I mean, it has happened, So,
Yeah.
but and I didn't go, I didn't act crazy because actually, when I was there, when I was in that environment, I kind of took it like a compliment. And some women probably would take it because that's the environment, but I just never could bring myself to do it. So, well, hey, I want to thank you for coming on with me. Can you tell everyone how they can get a hold of you, how they can reach out to you, and how they can help you?
Sure. My website is barthforgovernor.com. So it's BARTHFOR governor.com. And that's my website. So you can feel free to see any of my blogs. You can register to volunteer for my campaign and hopefully donate. This is a very expensive campaign, and the Republican Party doesn't step in until later as far as who they help with funds. But again, I'm not aligned with them anyway. So this is a self-funding campaign. So if I'm going to get anywhere, if you do like what I say, if you do want to hear more, and you want somebody who is going to speak up for you and people you may disagree with and have everyone be equal, truly equal, then vote for me and help me get there.
Cool. I want to thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. And everybody that's watching, that's on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, I want to thank all of you for watching and have a wonderful, blessed weekend and have safe. And anyone who's watching this in San Francisco area, I will be in San Francisco tomorrow.
Right? Union Square?
Yep, Union Square in San Francisco. So again, Unite America First. Thank you for watching. God bless and good night. All right. So please, yes, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We stream live on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And also we are on Twitter. Please like us and follow us on Twitter and of course on Facebook as well. We have a very special guest with us tonight. Stasyi, let me make sure I'm saying this right. Stasyi Barth. She's running for governor of California. Okay. So Stasyi is a native California Christian, wife, mother, patriot, activist, committed candidate for governor to stop sanctuary state. That's wonderful. I'm already liking her. Reduce taxes, end erroneous regulations, and restore California to its rightful place as the Golden State. This is awesome. So let's go ahead and we're going to play her campaign video. This is one video that I saw for her online. We're going to play that video for you. And then after the video, we're going to come back and we're going to talk to her. Oh, hold on. Okay. Is this it here? I can't click it. Click that second layer. No, the third one. The third one. The third one. The third one, yeah. Is that it there? I don't think that's it.
I am a product
Yeah, that's it.
of a California homeless community. I understand. I am a product of a California homeless community. I understand the position of pro-life and pro-choice since I've experienced both sides. I am a child of the LGBT community. I have a pre-existing condition and personally understand the problems with our medical system and where some want to take it. I am a wife and a mother of 3 wonderful children. I am a small business owner and understand the struggles of owning a small business. I joined the Air Force straight out of high school to serve my country and strongly support our military. John Quincy Adams once said, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." I am that leader for the Golden State of California. I believe no matter what side of the political fence you may be on, we must work together to eliminate homelessness, provide treatment for the mentally ill, and support for our veterans who suffer from PTSD. Together, we can improve our
Hello and welcome. My name is Will Johnson and she's United America First. I want to thank everyone for watching tonight. If you are watching right now, we are streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So please go to our YouTube channel and please subscribe. I'm sorry?
I just hear static.
It's coming through okay.
Okay.
So please go to our YouTube channel.
Sorry.
And are you not able to bring it up? Here, let me help you. Try now.